Dr. Muhammad Imran Qureshi. Please take your seats. Thank you. My name is Aliyu Isa Chikaji and I am your MC for today. Professor Dr. Amran Razli, Asia International Conference Chair. Professor Dr. Muhammad Shahbaz, Professor at Energy and Sustainable Development, ESD, Montpellier Business School, Montpellier, France. Professor Dr. Leopold Dana, Research Professor at Montpellier Business School and Marie Curie Fellow at Princeton University. Professor Dr. Raja Razia, a Professor of Economics and Technology Management at the Faculty of Economics and Administration, University of Malaya. Professor Jiri Joromes is a professor and head of Sustainable Process Integration Laboratory, SPIL, NETME Center, Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, Brunel University Technology. Professor Dr. Aminu Ayuba, President of the Academy of Management, Nigeria. Dr. Muhammad Qureshi, Director, Connecting Asia. Professor Dr. Aqil from Pakistan. Senior management officers, distinguished speakers, professors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Asia International Conference 2018. It is such pleasure seeing everyone here. I hope that everyone had a good experience getting to this beautiful island of Langkawi. Ladies and gentlemen, today's event is divided into 4 parts. First, we will have a welcoming speech by the conference chair in person of Professor Amran Razli, keynote speeches by Professor Dr. Muhammad Shahbaz, Professor Dr. Leopold Dana, Professor Dr. Raja Razia, Professor Dr. Jiri Joromir, Professor Dr. Ayuba Aminu, and Dr. Muhammad Imran Qureshi. The second part will be sessions in different groups and different categories. The session chairs, judges and coordinators will be in their various allotted rooms to ensure that both presentations and Q&A sessions are not only educating, smooth, but also exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, the third part is 2 special sessions which will be relevant to many of us here. The first is Strategic Forum, which will be a platform where you can engage with some of our speakers to discuss issues on higher education and the synergy between university and society. The second will be Editors Forum. We will be having the chief editors to discuss issues related to publication matters. So please join us for these 2 very special sessions. And the fourth part will perhaps be the favorite part to most of us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the part where we will unwind, sharing great food together with even greater company. Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth part, which is the last, will be the AIC 2018 Gala Dinner. Ladies and gentlemen, everything has a beginning, And our beginning begins right here, right now. One of our very first speaker is an internationally recognized intellectual giant of our time, one of the most outstanding professors I have ever known. A researcher par excellence, he had his PhD in society, business, and globalization from Roskilde University, Denmark, former Dean of Faculty of Management and Director, Innovation and Commercialization Center, University Technology, Malaysia. He has graduated well over 50 PhDs. He's been invited as a visiting professor to universities within Malaysia, Southern Australia, Hyderabad in India, Hebei University in China, Lithuania, Taiwan, Indonesia, Pakistan, and many others. He is currently serving as the Vice Chancellor of Sumait University, Chukwani, Zanzibar, as a Vice Chancellor. Ladies and gentlemen, to deliver the opening speech, please welcome the Conference Chair of AIC 2018 and the Vice Chancellor of Sumait University, Zanzibar, Professor Dr. Amran Rasli.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. And a very good morning to everyone. As mentioned by my illustrious colleague, Brother Aliyu, Dr. Aliyu, I'm now based in Africa, so that's why I'm wearing like this. Not here to recite the dua, okay, even though I may look like the Mufti, okay. I'm just here to share with you what we do. Meaning when we talk about Asia conferences, connecting Asia and so on, what we do is we try to connect all the researchers, okay, academics, experts in various fields together at a common platform. And for this reason, most of you are here. And we've been doing this for the past 5 years odd. It started off with just Dr. Imran and I, somebody with a crazy idea, me, and somebody who believed in this crazy idea, Dr. Imran. And then what happened was, over the years, okay, we started very small, and we grew and grew and grew, and now we are doing it here in Langkawi. And this is the point where I feel is the apex, because all this while we were doing conferences at the university, very safe, very comfortable, but to do in a resort island like Langkawi, in this nice convention center here, okay, and seeing the number of participants who are with us right now, to me this is a great accomplishment. So I applaud the organizing committee, the group, worked hard, okay, to ensure that this conference is a success. At any rate, okay, I'm happy to see familiar faces as well, especially among the keynote speakers, Some are very familiar, we've run into each other many times over, as well as the participants. Many are from Indonesia, whom I've met before in the past, okay. I'm very happy to see all of you again, and I hope that we will still be meeting up again in the future, because we are looking at connecting Asia to do things differently from now on. Okay, from now on we may be going abroad. We may be going to Indonesia again. We have offers to go to Oman, okay, and other parts of the world. So, and I guess this is inevitable in life. When you start something, along the way there'll be other people who will copy, okay, and try to do the same thing. So we see now competitors replicating our business model, and for that reason we have to change and explore, okay, other things, so that we will always be ahead of the others, and also at the same time giving the best quality to all the participants, inshallah. Okay, I'm not going to say much because we are behind time. We've got many other keynote speakers who will share their thoughts. So let me conclude here by wishing everyone a happy conference, and in Zanzibar we will say Hakuna Matata. Okay, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.
That has been the conference chair, Professor Dr. Amran Razli. Thank you so much, Prof. The next dignitary will be speaking to us, and he is the chair, Professor at Energy and Sustainable Development, ESD, Multiplier Business School, Multiplier, France. He is a former Principal Research Officer at ComSat, Institute of Information Technology, Lahore, Pakistan. He had a PhD in economics from National College of Business Administration and Economics, Lahore, Pakistan. He has published over 300 papers with a cumulative impact factor of 425 so far. He is among the world's top 15 authors in economics category as compiled by Ideas, and among the top 5 authors in economics category in developing countries declared by David McKenzie, Chief Economist, World Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome Professor Dr. Muhammad Shahbaz.
Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. I would like to pay thanks to Dr. Imran for connecting me with Connecting Asia. So, I think this guy, he explained very well about me. So, simply Muhammad Shahbaz, and serving in Mumbai Business School as a chair. So, title of my story, you can read with me very well. It's about green energy and economic growth. Simply, I think most of people here, if they are familiar with energy economics, so this story simply is about the energy growth nexus. Okay. Why we actually moving again to this nexus? If we have looked at the econometrics, so then you see many studies on time series, panel and cross-sectional, but all the findings according to our assessment, they are just talking about the constant relationship between the variables. As we know, in the different countries, governments of different countries, they implement the different energy, environmental and economic policies. So implementation of these policies, they change the relationship between the variables. So we are just trying to catch how much variation or variability exists between the variables, a relationship of the variables. So let's see with me. Okay. So no need to explain how energy consumption it affects economic growth. Just I think you should read the paper written by Ilhan Host, published in Energy Policy 2010, a literature survey on energy growth nexus. So then you will find the 4 hypotheses. Okay. First is the feedback that shows both variables, they affect each other. Okay. And it indicates the important role of energy in production function. So then there is a growth hypothesis. Same thing they are saying. Other 2 are neutrality and then the conservation hypothesis. So for the last 2 hypotheses, they say if you reduce the energy consumption, it will not affect your economic growth. But today, this is not our business to discuss regarding the energy growth nexus. But we should see if we have look at the literature. So I think we should go back to the World Development Report published in 1991, where they mentioned the issue of environment. Okay, and after that there was international agreement of just happened in Japan in 1997. So after 1997, we see world has changed, and they are thinking about the quality of life. They are thinking about the green economy. They are thinking about the environmental quality. Okay. So why actually this happens? You can see some issues which force the world to think about the green energy. What are those issues? Global setbacks, you may say a global financial crisis and other crisis, Asian crisis, you can also talk about that. So due to some dependence of countries on conventional energy sources, I mean coal and other thermal, these kind of things. But if we talk about the conventional energy sources, so it simply means they emit too much CO2 emissions, which is not, I think, good for our health and quality of life. So then you can see the some other things which are also, I mean, force the world to think about the green energy sources. What are those factors again? The preserved supply, green production, energy commodity prices, then the fluctuations, biodiversity and climate change. Okay, so these are the issues which you can find still in the literature. So they have impact, I mean, to move for the other alternative energy sources to get the sustainable economic growth. So from where this green energy is coming? It's simply the name of renewable energy sources. And what are those sources? You can see wind, biomass, solar, hydro, wood, waste and geothermal. Okay, I mean, people say that these energy sources they bring up with zero CO2 emissions, but the case is not like that. Okay. So why we have chosen the G7 countries? I mean, it again in the literature. Okay, they are considered the world leaders. Okay, and you can see from the statistics that the Canada is leading, and which is I mean just getting 22% its energy needs from the renewable energy sources. Then by Germany, Italy, Germany, France, USA, UK, and Japan. But if we see on the massive investment in renewable energy sources, it is by the USA. So there are two views in the literature. Some people say, yes, we should invest in the renewable energy sources, okay? But some people say if you don't invest in the renewable energy sources, I mean if you are focusing on the non-renewable energy sources, it is also helpful in reducing the poverty, okay? So I mean investment in non-renewable energy sources also creates jobs and it stimulates your economic growth as well. But on the other way, if we read one paper written by Nicholas Purchas, he says, yes, when you shift your economy from the conventional energy sources to the renewable or green energy sources, it has some kind of damaging cost. Why? They say it is till today it is difficult to store the renewable energy sources and it takes too much time when you shift your economy from conventional energy sources to green energy sources. Okay, so it's a lengthy process. So these are two views I mean you will find in the literature. Okay, I mean, why we are moving to this idea? As I told you, if we see one paper published in Econometrica in 2018 by the Mueller and Watson, they say, I mean, when you use the time series data, let's say, I mean, we are using time series data in this study from 70 to 2017, okay, according to the dynamic nature of the relationship between the variables, this relationship changes with the passage of time, okay? And in time, when we talk about the time series, so then I don't think so we cannot, we can ignore the role of unit to problem, we can ignore the role of non-stationarity of the various, and we can ignore the role of co-integration and causality. But here is our purpose basically to see, I mean, in what confidence intervals. In stats, if we see, so we have three levels of significance: 10%, 5%, and 1%. Okay, but here what we have done, we have estimated our coefficient. Okay, within the 90% confidence interval, which is called the high pass, and then we have used the 67% confidence interval, which is called the lower pass. Okay, and this approach works very well, and it gives you, I mean, the coefficient of the relationship between the variables between these two high and lower pass. And on the other side, I mean, okay, so this is the time to discuss about the big data, but the question is, if any country it doesn't have the I mean, long time series data, what should we do? So in that manner, this approach works well if you have the small sample size data. So you can see the I mean, third advantages. Okay, I don't need to discuss this because here you can see. I mean, we find this problem. Sometimes what happen? Some of the variables they are stationary at the level. Some of the variables they are stationary at the first difference. Okay, so in If you have the mixed order of integration, or if you find your all the variables